All right, YouTube, what's up? So back to the real Tony Montana, Juan. Okay, so now we're done with the car. We done did everything we need to do. The doors are all stuck open on one side, and then the other side they're peeled open. I don't think they closed right, because when I hit the dumpster, it was a Saturn. That whole rear end of that car kind of like collapsed. Now, I was surprised that the car still was able to drive when we came back in, and I'm like, oh shit, okay, let's go. So we at least got the car away from the original crime scene, which meant nothing because they were going to find it anyway. We didn't go far enough. It didn't matter. It just didn't matter. That we were done with the car, right? So we run back to the same neighborhood that Juan knows I live in, right? Knows the apartment that I used to live in. But I still got homies back there on Magnolia. Magnolia is a horseshoe. It's in East St. Paul. It comes down and then it goes like that in this, like, it's a horseshoe. St. Paul has really odd architectural shit when it comes to the streets. They're all uneven and slanted and all this weird shit, right? Nobody likes St. Paul. This is not like your traditional major city where everything's sectioned off, like block by block, and it's like, nah, man, this shit's weird, right? So we run back to the bottom of the horseshoe, and the Magnolia area was Mexicans. I forgot about that shit. I didn't forget they were Mexicans, but they were actually, I think they were like Cerveños or something like that. I know I didn't pronounce it right, because I had thought about that the other day, like, damn, I had got into it with the Mexicans on Magnolia. But we had already kind of got past that shit. But Juan wasn't from Magnolia. And he wasn't a motherfucking Cerveño. He was a fucking Norteño. And he wore red, and he was wearing all red that day. He used to always make sure he had some red on. I thought this dude was a Mexican blood. I don't fucking know. He's from California. This is back in the 90s. I'm thinking the dude's a Mexican blood. I don't fucking know. He probably even mentioned what he was, and I just wasn't paying no attention, you know? Then again, if he was smart, he didn't. Because why even, if we don't know, why tell us what you're from? Because you know you ain't from what we're from, you know? So we run back to Magnolia. I'll tell the story about getting into it with the Mexicans too. It was fucking funny. It went down, man, but it didn't go real. It was just a fight. No gunplay. Almost knife play. But that's a whole fucking funny ass story. I forgot all about that's a whole story right there. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole, 2-3 part story right there. So we run back to Magnolia, where I've already robbed the Hondurans around the corner, like a block away. They don't live at the bottom of the horseshoe in the apartments like we all do. But they live right around the corner. So I'm already like, either or, them dudes, the Hondurans are bitches. I ain't worried about them. That's another story. Because that was the first motherfuckers that we licked from St. Paul. Juan was the second person I licked when I moved out. You know what I'm saying? The first one went smooth. That shit was hilarious. I'll tell y'all about that next. That shit was funny as fuck, right? So this is the second move, and now I'm right back in the same motherfucking neighborhood because we're like stranded, right? So I run back to where I got some people, just some little young niggas around, and I can get up in somebody's apartment. So we get back to Magnolia, and we get the fuck out of there. I forgot how we got out of Magnolia, man. It don't matter. We just got out of there. It was a ride, a cab, maybe somebody there, but I'd be lying if I told y'all how we left from Magnolia, you know? But that's how you guys know I'm just not a bullshitter. I could just make something up, but I just don't got time to do that because I won't remember it later. I can't do that shit, right? So we run back to Magnolia. We get the fuck from Magnolia back to North Minneapolis, where we both reside on Penn and Broadway. And my homie owns like 7 houses on the block. So it's nothing but a bunch of goons around. You know? There's all type of shit going on. It was man, during that time, you know, when niggas used to get real money and before everybody starts snitching. You know? So we get the fuck out of Magnolia, get back to North Minneapolis, and I'm like, and so me and my boy start to talk about what the fuck happened, right? He's trying to tell me it's my fault. I'm just like, oh, this motherfucker, right? So I said, well, look, man, when I saw you throw your hands like that and look at dude like you just lost a poker hand, I'm like, oh, he don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. He said, no, crazy. That's not what happened, though. He said that when Juan put the strap back to his head, he said that, and listen carefully, you guys, he said every memory that he ever had his whole life flashed in front of his face from the time that he was a little kid. Everything, every memory he ever had. And I'm like, bro, it was 1 second, maybe 2, before I hit the gas. Like, how did you see your whole life? That was thousands of days. Thousands of days, right? I'm like maybe like 21 at the time. He's like 28, right? How can you see your whole life flash? I've heard this story, you guys, before, not from anybody I knew personally. We've all heard people say this. My life flashed in front of my... I didn't know what that meant. My life flashed in front of my face. I never knew what that really meant until he fully explained it to me. I don't think he knew what it meant. He's never had that happen, right? But this didn't happen to me. When I got shot, nothing flashed except for the gun. I was staring right down the barrel, man. I didn't blink. The other time I got shot at point blank, I didn't blink. Nothing flashed. Nothing. I want to see my whole life too. Why? And I'm just like, that's crazy, man. He said every memory. Everything, though, you guys. And when he said everything, I'm thinking it was things that he had forgotten about that ever happened. This dude has a long criminal history. He's been to prison 3 times. He's been arrested for murder 2 times. Charged with it. Went to trial. Beat it. He's been through a lot. You know? He said his whole fucking life in 1 second, you guys. How the fuck is that possible, man? I wouldn't believe half the shit that comes out of my mouth either if I didn't live it. But I know by looking in somebody's face, because I lived it, I know when they're burned out. I know when it's real. You know? And it's like, I was talking to my homie Nate Dogg. Shout out to Nate Dogg 916 and Dirty Weather 916. That's who put me on in the beginning. That's who I started off with. I was nobody. You know, Dirty gave me a shot. You know? That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Out there in Sacramento. Nate and Dirty. You know? But yeah, man. That motherfucker said his whole motherfucking life flashed in front of his face. And he was worried about something. He didn't say he was worried. But he said it wasn't like what I thought it was, where he didn't give a fuck. He didn't say he was scared, but I guess, I don't know. I don't know if he was, but it was something that he never experienced before. Dude, life takes thousands and thousands of hours to live. How can you see it all in 1 second? Unless life is a program, And it's down in our consciousness, man, is like high-tech technology. It's downloaded into us. Life ain't what we think it is. How the fuck could he see his whole life in 1 to 2 seconds? How? How could your mind move that fast? It's not even possible, you guys, and it happened. And I was watching him, and he didn't look like he was out of body. He looked like he was in the scenario, and he looked like he didn't miss a beat. But he went somewhere else, I guess. I couldn't get over it. On Penn and Broadway, there used to be a payphone by this little hamburger place, right? Fuck, man, must have came about 9 or 10 o'clock. I couldn't take it no more. I called Juan's ass and was like, hey. And here's the thing. That's another way we were slipping. We never even got Juan's phone. Remember I told you we patted him down and then my boy just turned around before we were like thoroughly patting him down? We didn't even take that man's cell phone. We knew he wasn't going to call the cops, but he could have. I called him on the same fucking number. This is back in the 90s, so it wasn't like you could just switch numbers. I called him on man, I don't know why the fuck. I was trying to be cool to him as I robbed him because I liked Juan. I liked him. We didn't plan on killing Juan that day. I liked Juan. He was a good brother. I was just moving out of St. Paul. I had to cash my chips in, man. That's how the Midwest is, you guys. You know? Opportunist type shit. We don't do everybody like that. I don't do my people like that, but I didn't know him like that, man. He wasn't the plug. His price was standard. You know? Now I get it. He was just working off a Pisa's pack, you guys. You know? Pisa's run the game up here. He was just working off of a motherfucking somebody from Mexico. He barely spoke English, right? So I called Juan on the fucking phone. And I'm like, hey. I said, bro, listen to me, man. I said, that shit you did today, man. You're a fucking hero for that, bro. I said, my boy, he's put down a lot of people, man. He's going to put you down, too. I said, I'm glad that you didn't get killed, bro. You didn't deserve it, Juan. God was on your side. I was wrong. I crossed you. Wasn't my boy. I did it. I moved out of the neighborhood, Juan. Shit, it was opportunity, brother. It had nothing to do with territory. You know? I said, and he just sat there kind of quiet. He never really said anything, right? He was just quiet the whole time, listening. And I was like, man, you know, God was on your side, man. I was wrong. You saved all of our lives, man. I said, that's a story, Juan, that you tell your fucking grandkids, man. You tell your fucking grandkids that story, dog. I said, I know you want to kill me, Juan. But hopefully we never see each other again. And he chuckled. And I hung the phone up. And that's the end of the story. And that's the fucking truth, you guys. I don't know if Juan is even alive anymore, you guys. Running like he did, making moves like that, and then not wanting to take a loss on like, dude, this shit was like, I told y'all, man, it was like, man, about 2,700. So go do your math and figure what that was back then. You know, we borrowed $2,700. I think it was even the right amount of money that we needed. But, is that what we think? Yep. And we all had touched a decent amount of money, all of us by that point. And we still all went psychotic over a few $1,000s. So you young motherfuckers that don't know what's up with this shit, this is what you're going to have to deal with when you come into this shit, you guys. There's going to be a psychopath eventually that likes you. that's cool with you. And they're going to choose to take you out on a bad day. Hell no, we didn't plan on killing Juan at any point until he grabbed the gun, and then it was open season. We never discussed doing anything to Juan violently aside from sticking the gun to him. Like, there was no discussion of like pistol whipping Juan, shooting Juan. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Juan had to give this shit up or that was going to happen. But as long as there was cooperation, Juan was not going to get touched. That was what the plan was. And that shit went fucking sideways. And I'm fucking glad it did. Because I fucking deserve that shit. You know? Just a move I shouldn't have made, man. You know? Even if we would have got away with it, I probably did feel even worse today, man. You know? I know. So remember, you guys, I do have a conscience and a heart. Not for no bitch-ass motherfuckers, though. Not for no snitches. Not for somebody who can't hack the life all the way to the end. Fuck you guys, man. You PC dropout motherfuckers, man. Like, the fuck off my channel.